Hey everyone. So I thought maybe it could be nice to do um, a sort of a demonstration of the game uh, with me like talking over it and kind of explaining my vision for this thing and what I've been working on. So this is what now I'm referring to as Untitled Browser MMORPG. Um, so I don't have a name or really a story or anything yet, but the general idea is that I just want people to be able to sort of log in on the browser from any computer, really, as long as they have an internet connection, and they can sort of log in and just start playing, their save file and play with other people, and so you don't have to like download or install anything and like no like updating too. I mean, realistically, you're gonna have to do something like this, like how Chrome has it. It says like, oh, there's an update ready. You just click it, and Discord does it too, where it's like it'll tell you that there's an update ready, so you have to like kind of refresh and load the new update. Probably have to do stuff like that, but like you won't have to like download anything through Steam and wait like 30 minutes for an update. Probably not. I hope not. Yeah. So what do I want to do for this? So I just sort of, this is inspired by kind of older these older like shitty indie MMOs that I used to play. There used to be this engine called Player Worlds. There's another one called like Uber RPG, and it was all based off of this open source MMO engine called Mirage Source, and it was all 2D and like tile based movement, and you had chat like this, and chat blah blah blah, and you had like your usernames right above you and all that kind of shit. And it was really jank, and like I said, you can only move like tile by tile, so it's like 32 pixels by 32 pixels at a time, and it was all like you could just like hit the control button to like attack, and like that was it. It was kind of shitty, but it was really fun, and there weren't even like scrolling maps either. It was just like the map was like like 20 by 18 tiles or something, and you had to go to the next map by like going to the edge of the map, and then it would load a new map, and it was really funny. Very, very low tech. But it was really fun for, the time period. And it was like, I was like 10 or 11. So I had like so much fun with this. And I would like try to make games, and me and my friends would try to make games. And you could load like your own custom sprites into it. So everyone, of course, what they would do was they would take like their own, they would take graphics from existing video games, like everything, like other RPGs or like Mario, and like just mix them all together to create like their kind of ultimate fan game or whatever, just to like fuck around. But the thing that I loved about it was the community aspect. So you just get on and like you can play this shitty indie game that you just made with this like point and click crappy editor, but you can play with your friends, and you're walking around and running around in a world that you made, and running around with your friends at the same time. So that was super appealing to me. I love that shit. So I kind of got inspired by that. And that's sort of what I want to do here. It could be fun to like make like a really high quality version of that editor. But I think really I want to make a game. Like the thing that I want to focus on, I guess, is just the community aspect of it. And having like a really fun place to hang out in. And the thing is that I want to make it high quality. I don't want to make it jank like it was, just to make some crappy engine and just kind of put it out there. No, like I want to have like a really nice version of that, high quality, like really polished and well done, a really really fun, good quality experience while also just playing online with your friends. So this is sort of what I have now. This game has gone through like one or two iterations already, a little bit. There was one version that was actually online. You could log in and you could play with other people, but it was really basic. It had like no features. All you could do is kind of walk around. There was music that played, and there was a little menu that popped up where you can turn on what is it, music or not. And then there were some chat bubbles with emotes. and there was chatting too. But this is like probably the furthest it's come. You can't play online with this one yet, but it's higher quality than the other ones. There's more features. So I've been making videos about the features, but let's just walk through them again and talk about them this time. So obviously you can walk around. I have this little character. These sprites, I didn't make these sprites. These are made by First Seed Material, or FSM, and these were like some free sprites that you could use for RPG Maker. Like years ago now. God, I'm so fucking old. You could use them for RPG Maker back in the day. You can still download them now if you go on archive.org and use the Wayback Machine to get them, or just Google it. But yeah, so I'm just using these as placeholder because they look really nice. But I kind of want this sort of visual style for the sprites, at least, not the rest of it. The rest of it is too basic right now. So yeah, you can walk, and you can also run, and the sprite changes when you run too. It's kind of cool. Yeah, and you have like text boxes. So text boxes, this would be like an alert that pops out for something for whatever reason. And ideally I can make this resizable or movable. I was working on code to make the window movable if you kind of click and drag. I couldn't really get it to work properly yet. So for now it's just going to be in like a fixed place. And yeah, the thing is that none of this stuff is like, the text is not highlightable, because this is actually being drawn. How this is being done, by the way, this whole game is being coded from scratch. It's not like an existing engine at all. I'm doing everything completely from scratch on my own. It's all in JavaScript right now. And it's probably a stupid idea. I probably should be using an engine, but the thing is that if I'm doing everything custom on my own, then that gives me like as much control as I want, pretty much. And the only thing I'm limited by is like the limits of JavaScript or whatever. And I've thought about, for the tech heads in the crowd, I've thought about maybe eventually you can convert this to like C++ and do like a WebAssembly thing, because maybe it could be like a lot faster. Maybe, especially with online games, you really want to focus on speed, and like just trying to nuke latency as much as possible. So that's a possible thing I could do. Yeah, but anyway, okay, so you have like alert boxes that pop up, and this could be like anything. Like it could be like a game message, or it could be like we're closing the server in 30 minutes for maintenance or something, I don't know. Or like an alert, or just something about the game. You got 500 gold, a little picture pop up here. And yeah, so this closes. Oh yeah, I was talking about the text. So this is not highlightable, because this is what we're doing now is this is JavaScript Canvas. So this is an API that was created a while ago in JavaScript, maybe like 10 years ago now. That lets you draw things like this. So it's sort of like was supposed to replace Flash, kind of, and it basically did on the internet. But yeah, this is the native thing that just runs in the browser. But this text isn't highlightable because this is actually text that's being drawn in Canvas, so it's not like HTML text that just shows up. I had a previous iteration of the game. There was a mixture of Canvas, and then you had some HTML elements, like the text chat was HTML. It's really easy to set up things that way. But I want to not do that in this iteration, and there are reasons why, to get like some interesting effects that I'm not going to talk about now. I might even edit that part out, but there are reasons why I'm not doing that, but I'm just not going to talk about it. For funsies, anyway. So yeah, you can close those text boxes. And I guess in the vein of text, you can chat. So you can say hello, and that shows up. And, yeah, this is done by an interesting little trick. I have an HTML element that's actually popping up. It's just running it. It's in the background. It's kind of like off screen, and by hitting a key, I can like focus on it, and whatever's in that HTML element is just being rendered on the screen. So, yeah. But yeah, And you can you type T and then chat, and then you hit escape, and then unfocus it and move again. But if you're typing, like I'm hitting the arrow keys right now, you can't move. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so just like you can close a window, you can also just have just clickable objects too. It's the same thing. So you can, I'm clicking right next to it, doesn't do anything. I click it, it disappears. So that's collision detection and like tracking the mouse properly. So that works. I also have this box thing will move when I'm scrolling the mouse too. That was really like a proof of concept to see how to get the engine to just register mouse scrolling. So that I can use for Windows, like in-game Windows, if I want to scroll through like an inventory. An inventory or something. So I plan to have in the original engine of that shitty indie engine that I was talking about, I plan to have that engine had the inventory on the right, like right here, and it would kind of like pop up. Or I think it would just open all the time. And you just kind of like see your whole inventory as like squares of whatever item you had. I might do that. I might make it so like it's not always open, but it'll like, you hit like the I key and it'll just like pop open, and then you can kind of like navigate through with the arrow keys or something. Another thing too with this game is that a big component of the game, I want to have like keyboard shortcuts to be a real big thing. So if any of you are power users with any program, like especially if you're a programmer or something, and you just know all the keyboard shortcuts and how to do things, like it kind of gets you high. Like it's kind of fun to like just really navigate around like an expert, just being really good and knowing all these shortcuts and how to do all these different things, and moving through the program like lightning. It's really fun. And I definitely don't want to keep people married to like pointing and clicking. That shit sucks, especially if you want to play this game like competitively, because I do want to have a combat element to this game too. But if you want to play it like competitively or just get anything done like really fast, it's really annoying to like click shit. And I guess it's like normal for PC games and everything to have like, you know, proper keyboard shortcuts for things, but I want to really make keyboard shortcuts like very fun to use, and I want it to make sense, so you can like chain keyboard shortcuts and do like really different things, like so for example, like for menuing, let's say you're battling and you're low on health and you're like jumping around and like hitting the enemy and like doing all this crazy shit. I want to be able to like you run over here and then like you hit the I key and then the inventory opens up and you hit like / and it opens up like a search bar in the inventory really quick and immediately focuses on it, and then you can start typing, and then it'll start filtering out all of your items in your inventory. So say you start typing like POT, you know, and then it just immediately filters out all the items, so that like it shows like potions, right? Just like, you know, how a lot of like apps do search nowadays, where it like starts to immediately show you results and filter them as you're typing. You know, I want to do that with the inventory, and then it'll automatically highlight, and you can like kind of maybe move around like a highlighted, like a green square or something that goes all over each item that you have that shows up, and you can hit enter to immediately just use it. You know, and then once you use it, you immediately just escape right out of the inventory. You go right back into the game, and you can run around and dodge your enemy again just as you heal. You know, so that's what I mean by like keyboard shortcuts and like really fast, quick menuing. And I want it to be a thing where if you're really good at typing and you learn all these keyboard shortcuts, you can get really fucking good at this game, like really, really good. And then you can kind of like use that to sort of compete, I guess. I thought about like, I'm not really into esports. I mean, I'm not like against them or anything. Like, I think it's kind of a cool idea because I just like games. So I support people who like, they really enjoy playing the games that much and they get kind of good at it, but that's fun. But because I want to add combat as a big element to this game, then because of that, I want to make combat really fun and make it so it's something that people can enjoy like casually, just kind of play this game and like, you know, kind of smack enemies and like run around and collect things. But also if they want to really compete with each other, there's an element where you can get really, really good at it and just become a fucking monster, just an absolute machine at just, you know, hitting keys and getting keyboard shortcuts and combos like as fast as possible and just kicking people's asses. That's fun. So yeah, anyway, so more stuff. I get this little thing. So this red square is an event trigger. So if you notice that when I'll refresh, when I first opened up this game, there's like a little area indicator that shows up. So this says like, okay, this is the area that you're in right now. It just kind of pops in, and the plan is like that shows up whenever you enter a new area. So say like you go off the map and you're kind of like running around. I want to have scrolling maps eventually, by the way. Probably the better experience than like this kind of static camera going on. So that means the camera would like follow the player mainly. So but let's say you kind of go over here and you're getting out of like whatever town this is in or something, and then you go to a new area and it's like, you know, woodland forest or something, and then that thing will show up again and they'll say this is where you are. You know, typical stuff like area indicator. But this red square, this is an event trigger. So if the character collides with this, then I can make it do whatever the hell I want. I can make the player die, I can make an enemy appear, like whatever. Right now it's just it just shows the area info indicator again. But I could just make it do whatever the hell I want. That's just sort of how it works. This blue square, so this is actually a mount. It doesn't look like a mount right now, but you can ride it. So if I go up to it, hit the enter key, now I'm riding. I'm riding the little mount, and so you know, ideally right now it's very, very basic. So like the character is still like showing like the walking animation, and it's not really coded in the best way either. But it's kind of the basic idea of what a mount would be. You go up to it and hit enter, and you kind of start riding it around. But just imagine like the blue square is like a monster, like a vehicle or something. The plan was I saw like this fun little truck in Japan with like these blue headlights, and I thought that was really cool. And I was like, oh, what if I put like a truck in the game? You can ride a little car. And I was thinking of how to program it, and this is how far I got so far. But yeah, it could be like a monster, it could be a horse, like a fucking anything. So I was gonna say like Chocobo, but obviously I'm not gonna put like another game's character in it or monster in it. So yeah, I can get off it. I just hit enter. But it's a little jank right now. So if I'm like over here, it kind of like warps right under your feet. So, but yeah, that's the basic idea. Let's over the way again. Yeah, I showed you the square. So yeah, this is just a little NPC. That's there. Right now it's like it's not rendered properly, so I can just kind of like this looks normal, but now I can like collide with him. That's not like proper, right? I need to make it so I can't just like mash into him like that and walk all over him. And also I need to make it so if I'm behind him, like this looks correct, right? Because like it's correct perspective, like I'm in front of him, right? But if I'm behind him, I need to make it so it respects like that his head should be rendered above me. I still have to think about and experiment, do a little research on rendering things properly like that, because right now it's like a list of whatever kind of objects I want to put on this game map right now, and it's just whatever is rendered last is rendered over the thing that came before it. So I got to do something smart. Maybe I separate characters like this into like two squares and do something. But yeah, it's just an NPC. He's interactable right now, so he's an actual object that's being rendered. It's not just like a static image. But he doesn't really react to you. But if you collide with him and you hit enter, so this is a dialogue example. This looks terrible. This is just placeholder art that I drew. I've been trying to learn how to draw for like the past like 5 years. I'm not very good. unfortunately. I have good taste, but I can't execute that well. Um, so, but yeah, so I had this idea. I really want to do full size character portraits. And this, like, I even want it to be like up here more, where it's like a full thing where you see like more of his body and like the torso and everything. And the idea behind that is that I want to show off like really good character designs for NPCs and enemies and things like that. And like, whatever like main characters would be in the game, I want to have like full size art where people can really see everything. Because I love art, and I especially love like anime characters, and I especially love girls and and like anime girls, waifus and shit. I'm a huge fan, huge fucking fan of the waifus, man. And I don't want to sound like I'm all about the money here, but a big selling point for a lot of games and anime and everything is the waifus. So and I'm a fan of them, so I thought it could be really fun to kind of have like like great characters too, just cool character designs and everything, but also like some real nice fucking waifus and make them as sexy as I want, and like just have like great character designs for them, and so that people can really become fans of them and be like, oh my god, like this girl in this one town, she's amazing. And that could be a selling point for like, oh, the new area, like oh, check out this girl, she's like a sorcerer who lived in the woods for 100 years or something, and then she's just like super hot girl. Like, and you go, and everyone wants to go to the town because they want to see the girl and interact with her. And then you can also like have more art, so you can show their facial expressions and different poses and body movements and things. And god, and I'm such a perv, honestly. Like, you can get crazy with this. Like, you can have like an in-game, and I don't plan on making this game like super kid friendly. I want to do whatever the hell I want. I don't want to limit it. So if I get really crazy with it, like, you can have like a fucking strip club in the game and then just show like the portraits could be just like that. It'd be like, and like you go to the club for like a quest or something, and then of course all the girls would be like super hot, and like they would just show up, and you'd see like her in a fucking bikini or like some crazy outfit, and people would fucking love that. I'm sure I would. It'd be great. Of course, not everyone's going to be a fan of that, but it's okay. Like, this game, I want it to be kind of like my ideal game, sort of. That's kind of what I'm looking to do. But yeah, so just imagine like this sort of portrait, like better art, and maybe like more up here, like so it's a real full-size art, so you really see like more of his body. And like, of course, for the girls, and like also for anyone interested in guys too. Like, I want to have some hot guys too. So like, don't worry. I wouldn't put that shit in, because a lot of like hot guy anime character designs, the guys actually just, they look cool. Like, they have cool character designs. So like, I'm a fan. So, and nothing wrong with like thirst traps for the ladies, or for whoever's interested in guys. Nothing wrong with that. So and no problem putting that kind of shit in. So yeah. Waifus and fucking what do they call them? Anime daddies? I don't fucking know. Probably sound cringe there, or whatever. But yeah, I think it's better to, like, when the text shows up, the text would be kind of bigger than the chat box, because it's a bigger, more of a focus. But all of this stuff, all of it is just very, very preliminary. Nothing's final. The characters, these are free assets from somewhere. This is a really crappy art, and obviously it's just random squares and gray backgrounds. Nothing. It's not like nothing that like I want the game to look. It's just everything now is just like, okay, let's just get ideas down. Like, let's get this thing fucking working. Yeah. Okay. So you can X out of it. Just hit the X button. I'll probably just hit enter or whatever the hell, or hit escape. You can do the same thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Yeah, I have chat. I think I went over that. But yeah, right, you can just have like really long messages too, because it extends like the whole width of the screen, right? But right now the chat is super basic. Like, I can't scroll through the chat. Like, see, it's still focused on here. I need to make it so the mouse is here, and it only scrolls through chat, doesn't do anything over here. Um, but yeah, and like I should make this like clickable where you can click and type, because I want people to mainly like for experts. I want you to like you won't be able to be an expert player, like an amazing, really good, efficient player at this game, unless you use keyboard shortcuts, likely. But I don't want to limit people to that. Absolutely not, because that's poor usability. And I want people to be able to play the game casually as well. So I'm going to make everything clickable, obviously, because I have the click functionality there, for this. And this will have to be clickable too. Yeah. So I want to talk about some things that I want to do. Some plans I have for the game. So I think I'm gonna make that another video, and I can draw too. Maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna investigate on how to do that, but just real quickly. So yeah, I talk about the inventory thing and like the menuing. So I want like a lot of menus to be able to just pop up like really quickly. I want to have like that you can just hit a single key and like instantly navigate really quick and do things like search and autocomplete and add that stuff. And that comes from my app developer background. But they're amazing features, and I wanna kind of replicate the feeling of being really productive in an app for like work or business or something. I want to replicate that feeling in a way with this game, because what's the point of not being able to do something very efficiently in a game? Like, why not? I can't make everything super easy. Like I can't just make it so you can like immediately warp to the final boss or whatever. There has to be challenge. But for stuff like menuing, it's like, if that's inefficient, it's nothing but annoying. It's just annoying to do. So I hate that stuff. So it should be really easy to do, and like everything's super organized and like really, really clear. Great graphic design, great, amazing UX UI. For menuing, like no exceptions. It's just it has to be great. Other things too, like for developers. So it's just me right now developing this game. But I want to add a map editor. So just imagine like here on the right, like, I could just type like map edit, like whatever map I'm on. And then for admins, like for me, just like a map editor will pop up with like tiles that I can just change and blah, blah, blah. And the idea for that for players is that eventually I want to add player housing. Yeah, I want to make it so eventually you can buy your own house in the game. Or get your own house somehow through some means, like maybe throughout the story or something. And then I want players to be able to edit their house, and I can probably reuse the map editor feature for the home editing. So you would do this thing where you just type like edit, or like you're in your home and like a button pops up over here, like edit home or whatever, and then the map editor pops up and you can like click whatever you want, and then just sort of like draw and paint or something like that, or just like take things from your inventory and like place them here, and like they can like kind of show up and almost like as decorations. I want to have I never even talked about like the general concept for the game too. Obviously it's an MMORPG, like I was saying. So you play online with your friends. You can't play online right now. But I want it to be this sort of like really beautiful environment where you can explore like tons of things. Like pixel art is my idea for now. I could maybe make this 3D, sort of like a low poly 3D, because I want it to be like really stylized and like kind of cartoony a little bit. But and like really, really bright and colorful, because I love that shit. But I want to really artistically express myself with it too, and just kind of like do whatever. But I want to have like really just amazing environments to explore, and I want a big part of the game to be exploration. And then this is very basic, and it's the common MMO trap of like, of course, like everyone wants that. But I want that to be a part of the game, like just really, really beautiful looking environments, very, very aesthetically pleasing, not just like big open places. Like, no, it's so boring. I want it to look beautiful. So even though it's online, I want the single player experience to be really fun. I talked about the combat. So the combat, I want this to be like, if you can imagine, like if you play a lot of older like Super Nintendo RPGs, for example, or like Game Boy Advance, the combat's often turn-based, and it's not, to me, like, turn-based is just kind of boring. I just don't really like it. And I like Pokemon, but that's sort of the only one. Like, I like action. I want to like smack someone with a sword in real time. But even something like Zelda, like Legend of Zelda, like, or Minish Cap or something, even that is too basic for me. It's not like super fun. And what I really like for movement is things like Mario 64, or Smash Bros, where the movement is complex. It's complex movement, and there's like a lot of physics involved, and there's so much like feel to it, right? Where you can like kind of jump around and like do like a backflip, and like you can strafe and dodge and do like a fucking cartwheel and everything. And there's just a lot of feeling to it, where you can just chain movements and feel like you're kind of jumping around like a monkey. And that's something that I loved about Mario 64 and like Smash Bros and everything. Like Zelda's fun, but even then I think the combat's like still it's a little boring. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 2. It's really fun to get into combat. It's very fun. And Kingdom Hearts 2, like, you can kind of go on autopilot and just kind of mash X. I don't want to make it like that necessarily, but it just feels really good to move around. That's ultimately what it is. And like like later stages of the game, in like Kingdom Hearts 2, you start racking up different physical like movements that you can do. So in the beginning, you kind of just jump and attack, but then you can start adding like, you can add like another attack to your combo, to your attack chain. So you could, like, normally it's just you get 3 attacks you can chain, that's it. But then you can add another one, or you can add like in the middle of it, it's like another thing if you hit a button or something, or like in the middle of it, like in Kingdom Hearts 2, you can like smack it, like in the middle of a chain, you can hit the square button, and then it kicks an enemy up into the air, and then you can hit X again, and you immediately jump up, and you're attacking the enemy and everything, and you can add like finishing moves. That was really cool. I don't know if I'll make it as crazy as that, because I think that can get a little bit too complicated. But I really want to make it so, you can do like a bunch of like basic things that I see are basic that you really could never do in RPGs, and I always wondered why. So number one, I want to be able to jump, and this is top down, but you can jump. I have coded it before, and I've gotten it to work. So you can do it. So it's not here. Oh, I have it here. You can see it's really jank right now. It's just it's not working properly because it's the physics aren't correct. So right now you're just kind of hovering. But yeah, I want to be able to jump, and I want to be able to like, no glitch going on right now. Oops. I want to be able to hop around. I want to be able to do like a backflip. I want to be able to strafe, and like I want to jump forward. I want to jump backward while still facing people, and I don't know why it's doing that. I gotta figure out that movement glitch. Yeah, and like maybe double jumping would be cool, and eventually I want to make it so you can glide in the game. That would be pretty dope, and maybe I'll edit that out, because that's a kind of a spoiler. I don't want people to know that you can do that yet. Yeah. So okay, I'll edit that. Yeah, I just want to have like that kind of acrobatic movement, like wall jumps would be cool, ledge grabbing and shit. So if you can imagine, like it could be hard to sort of translate that into this top-down 2D, but I think it can be done. And I think part of what's going to sell that really well is like really good art that really makes it look like all this shit is going on. Not like janky things where like, you know, I'm just like, I jump and like my character does nothing but just like rise up like that. That would look like shit. Like what's gonna sell it really is like really good pixel art for this. That really makes it like feel good, and like also like the timing, and like I would want to probably watch like a lot of Sakurai videos. Like Masahiro Sakurai is a creator of Smash Bros. If you don't know, he's starting to upload like game design content on YouTube, which is amazing. So he probably has stuff about like control and game feel, and so I'll probably just religiously watch those and like just tweak the shit out of that. That'll probably be like one of the biggest things that I'll be tweaking for this game is the movement, because I want it to be very, very fun, and I want it to make sense, like perfect sense, and I want it to be fun just to move around in the game, not even if you're doing combat, just to run around like a monkey. I want it to be very, very fun, and not like basic, just like up, down, left, right, like every other RPG, because that's boring. It's static. I want to run around a pixel world like a monkey with my friends. That's what I want to do. Other things too is item collecting. So I want that to be a big part of it, because I loved like the collectathon games of like the late 90s and early 2000s, I think, where you just kind of go to levels and there's like a bunch of items to collect. That was always just so fun for me. Like Banjo-Kazooie, I love that shit. Just so fun. But I want people to have like a lot of lists. So like I love like Animal Crossing too, and so it's really fun to like complete sets, and I want people to be able to show off sets that they've completed. I was also like a huge like Pokemon card fan. I loved Pokemon cards. I still do, but just like the older ones. But it was always so fun to see other people's collections of cards. I loved seeing them. And I love showing off my own collections as well, and like organizing my collections and sorting things and putting them in binders and blah blah blah, and checking out like ordering them, and like just to see like which ones I still needed and what set. So fun. So I want to replicate that in this game as well. And I had this idea where maybe you can somehow put those collections like on your phone or something, right? So you can show off those collections to other people. I don't think this game would translate well to your phone. I don't want to be completely closed to the idea, but I just don't think it will, because with the whole keyboard input thing, I just think it would be kind of a stripped down experience. Might be kind of lame, but at the very least, like I want people to be able to show off like their house, their player house, to other people, and like their character stats, like a character stats card, and also like all their collections and accomplishments. You can show it to people. That'd be really cool. And maybe you can like add people to your friends list to your phone or something. They're like some kind of phone app. That'd be pretty dope. The other thing is like pets. So I really liked the Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2. I loved that. Me and my friends, we spent, God, like how many fucking months worth of consecutive time in that fucking Chow Garden, just like playing with those Chow, like and raising them and like changing them around and shit. Like, oh my fucking God, it's just crazy how much time we spent in that. So and that could be on your phone too. You could like take those pets with you and like train them or something, like kind of like an idle thing or whatever the fuck, and show those off to people. That'd be really fun. So this sounded like a lot of features, and that's like often the death knell of games. But the thing is that I want this game to be playable. Like, I'm not just gonna wait until all those features are done, or work until all those features are done and then release. Like, no. Like I want to release this game ASAP. I could put this online right now. You just can't play with other people yet. You just get this experience that I showed you. But you know, I would want to what is it? Just put it up, and then let people just log in and play like as soon as possible, and then that way we don't have to wait until like all this shit is finished. Like, no, you can like start playing like quickly, and then I'll just keep updating it as I go, and then even if like you can't fully do all of these features right away, I still want to have the game up. And obviously, like, there's a thing with like money. Like, I don't want to overcharge people for like a completely unfinished game. So I might have to just have like tons of like things like look, this game is not finished yet. So if you don't want to play, like you can do like a free trial or something, and like that's totally fine. Or like, you know, do like a pay as you go thing. Like you can just sample it for like a day or like a few days or something, just to see like when the when updates are coming in. Like, we won't charge you for the full month, like something like that. I want to make it fair, but at the same time, like I do need to make money from the game because server costs, and also just I want money. Like I don't want to starve. I need to pay rent and shit, and also just to have money for myself. So yeah, but yeah, okay. So that's sort of it. That's it for now. I did apply to Y Combinator to see if I can get funding for this, because if they approve your idea, then you go to their program for like 9 weeks and they give you $500,000. That would have been cool, but unfortunately I got rejected. It was the fourth time I got rejected, so I might apply again, but we'll see. Maybe I could just do Patreon this time or something. But yeah, so okay, that's it. Sorry, I'd like to talk a lot, but maybe in my next video, like, I can have some like drawing mock-ups or something. Where I can really show like what I'm talking about, what I'm imagining in my head, because right now it's just kind of words. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and yeah, I'll see you later. Peace.